Have you ever wondered why being the perfect gentleman is no longer enough? Why kindness, stability, and loyalty, once praised as the foundation of love now, seem invisible in modern dating? The truth isn't cruel. It's simply reality. Marcus Aurelius said, "You must understand the nature of things, not as you wish them to be, but as they are." For centuries, men were told devotion and security would guarantee a woman's heart. But today, attraction doesn't respond to tradition. It is shaped by biology, psychology, and the endless marketplace of options created by technology. Evolution wired women to be selective. In the past, one poor choice could mean life or death. A man with strength and resources wasn't just attractive, he was necessary. That instinct remains, even though survival is no longer at stake. Now, those instincts point towards status, influence, and access to high-value men. The dependable, hardworking man who once would have been prized often fades into the background, unnoticed in a world of constant comparison. The average woman today receives more attention in 1 week on social media than most men do in a year. Every post, every photo, every story brings instant validation. That validation reshapes her sense of what she deserves. Seneca wrote, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor." Yet modern life teaches the opposite, that there is always more. More money, more status, more attention. Women aren't cruel. They are following an ancient drive amplified by a digital age. The man offering kindness and stability is dismissed. Not because those traits lack value, but because they are drowned out by louder signals. Epictetus said, "It is not things themselves that disturb us, but our judgments about them." Women's judgments are shaped by comparisons their ancestors never faced. Attraction today is not about being good enough in isolation. It is about understanding the lens through which women now see the world, a lens sharpened by evolution and magnified by technology. In today's world, many women live with the illusion of unlimited options. A single photo on Instagram or a swipe on a dating app brings floods of validation, reshaping how she views her own worth. What once was rare now feels endless, and standards rise higher than ever. This is hypergamy in a digital age, what some call hypergamy 2.0. In the past, women sought protection, food, and shelter. Now, they seek lifestyle, influence, and social proof. A woman may not consciously think this way, yet her choices reveal it. The humble, devoted man is overlooked, while the man projecting status draws her instinctive attention. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." When women consume constant images of luxury cars, exotic trips, and men surrounded by attention, their thoughts and standards shift without them realizing. Think of an average woman who posts a photo online. Within hours, she receives dozens of compliments from men worldwide. Even if she ignores them, the attention changes her self-perception. She begins to believe she can always do better, even if the man beside her is kind and reliable. Epictetus said, "We suffer not from the events in our lives, but from our judgments about them." It is not cruelty that drives women to dismiss average men. It is their perception, shaped by endless comparison, whispering that something greater is always within reach. The truth is sobering but clear. Attraction is filtered through instincts sharpened by thousands of years of survival, now magnified by technology. Men must understand this not with bitterness, but with clarity. Modern dating creates an invisible wall for men. A man may invest months of effort, gifts, and devotion, only to realize his presence barely registers. It feels unfair, but women are no longer comparing men to their neighbors or co-workers. They are comparing every man to the polished images on their screens. Consider a woman scrolling through her feed. She sees men traveling the world, posing with luxury cars, or commanding large audiences. Her mind absorbs these signals without effort, and slowly, her idea of attraction shifts. Stability and kindness fade into background noise. Power, influence, and scarcity dominate her attention. Seneca once said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." For women, the imagination fueled by digital illusions becomes stronger than real experiences. The hardworking man standing in front of her is unconsciously judged against a fantasy projected online. Epictetus reminded us, men are disturbed not by things, but by the view they take of them. Women don't reject out of cruelty, but out of perception shaped by constant exposure to seemingly higher value men. This is why many men feel invisible despite their loyalty. The truth is not about fairness. It is about perception. And until men understand this, they will continue to invest in battles they cannot win. Men today are not competing with the man next door. They are competing with digital illusions of men on yachts, showing wealth or adventure, repeated daily on screens. These signals rewire desire. Women begin to crave excitement over stability, chasing the feeling of being chosen by someone seemingly out of reach. An average woman who receives constant attention online starts to believe she can always aim higher. Even if she never responds, the validation shapes her sense of worth. So when a man offers devotion and comfort, it feels ordinary, not special. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you are pained by any external thing, it is not this thing that disturbs you, but your own judgment about it." Women's judgments are shaped by abundance. A kind gesture no longer feels rare when hundreds of men are willing to provide the same. This explains the paradox of the nice guy. What he thinks is strength devotion. Consistency, affection often signals low value in her eyes. Epictetus warned, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish." A man who gives too much too quickly is seen as eager, not powerful. The reality is simple. Attention has become cheap. And in a marketplace where women filter harder than ever, comfort is no longer enough. Desire is sparked not by effort, but by signals of scarcity, strength, and self-control. Modern dating reveals a double standard. Women are praised for setting high requirements demanding wealth, height, or adventure, while men are told to be grateful for any chance they get. This creates an uneven marketplace where women aim upward, and men lower their expectations. Hypergamy, the instinct to seek the best possible mate, has always existed. But in today's world, it operates in overdrive. Social media convinces women that someone more exciting or successful might always be around the corner. Commitment feels risky because tomorrow could bring someone better. Seneca wrote, "No man is free who is a slave to his body." In the same way, no one is free if they are enslaved by endless comparisons. Women may not realize it, but their constant hesitation often comes from this cycle of validation. Many men waste years chasing women who never truly saw them as options. They mistake politeness for attraction, attention for desire, and courtesy for love. As Epictetus taught, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Men must see clearly devotion alone no longer secures love. The truth is not that women became shallow. It is that their instincts are amplified by a digital system without limits. Until men accept this, they will continue to fight with illusions instead of reality. The old model of being a dependable provider is gone. Modern dating rewards perceived superiority, not just effort. Women are not searching for equality but hierarchy, men who stand above, not beside them. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." A man who builds his own life, projects strength and scarcity, naturally rises above the noise. Meanwhile, stability, though respected, does not ignite desire. Women openly declare they would rather stay single than settle. Why? Because constant validation convinces them they always deserve more. Even as years pass and youth fades, their standards remain shaped by illusions created in their prime. Seneca reminded us, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor." Many women, trapped in the chase for more, struggle to see the value before them. For men, this truth is both brutal and freeing. Brutal, because loyalty and patience are often overlooked. Freeing, because attraction is not about effort, it is about perception. Epictetus said, "Don't explain your philosophy, embody it." When a man carries himself with confidence and purpose, he becomes the standard others are measured against. For men, the truth about modern dating is both painful and liberating. Painful, because many remain invisible, despite loyalty. Liberating, because it shows attraction isn't about morality or sacrifice. It's about perception. Women don't measure men in isolation. They measure them against a global catalog of images, signals, and illusions. The man working 80 hours a week will still be overshadowed by a 30-second video of another man projecting wealth and power. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Men cannot control illusions flooding women's minds, but they can control the signals they project, Seneca observed. Most powerful is he who has himself in his own power. A man who carries himself with scarcity and confidence will always be more attractive than one begging for validation. Many men cling to old rules, patience, loyalty, consistency, believing these will win love. But Epictetus warned, don't seek for everything to happen as you wish it, but rather wish that everything happens as it actually will. The market rewards status signals and self-command, not effort alone. The lesson is clear. Adapt or remain frustrated. Attraction today is shaped by perception, and those who accept this truth stop stumbling in the dark. Women's standards are not fixed. They rise and fall depending on context, age, and perception. A man invisible today can become desirable tomorrow if his status changes. This is why attraction feels unpredictable, yet it follows clear patterns. Marcus Aurelius said, "Observe constantly that all things take place by change. Modern attraction is not random, it is responsive." Women continually recalibrate their desires based on the signals men project. Stability earns respect, but rarely sparks desire. Seneca wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." Many men waste years trying to prove their worth with stability, never realizing women are moved by signals of superiority, not effort. Epictetus advised, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." A man who builds his life without begging for validation embodies scarcity and strength. He becomes the prize women feel compelled to qualify for rather than the one constantly qualifying himself. The reality is simple. Women are drawn not to men who appease them, but to men who elevate them. Desire follows hierarchy, not equality. One of the greatest mistakes men make is confusing friendliness with attraction. A woman who laughs at your jokes or replies to texts is not necessarily interested. Politeness is not desire, and attention is not lust. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." Men must stop lying to themselves, mistaking courtesy for genuine affection. The woman truly interested will show it through action. She invests energy, seeks proximity, and reveals behaviors that cannot be faked. Epictetus said, "What is necessary is never unwise." Recognizing true signals saves men from years of wasted effort. Seneca reminded us, "Life is very short and anxious for those who forget the past, neglect the present, and fear the future." Men who cling to illusions lose precious time chasing women who never saw them as real options. The modern dating market is not about fairness, but awareness. The man who sees clearly will no longer stumble in the dark. He understands desire is not created by effort, but revealed through instinct and perception. The way out of frustration is simple. Stop chasing women who show no real interest and start building yourself. A man who carries himself as the prize changes the entire dynamic. Women may not lower their standards, but they bend when confronted with true strength and scarcity. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. When a man values himself first, he projects confidence that cannot be ignored. Standards don't disappear, but perception shifts. A man who holds his frame becomes the standard others are measured against." Seneca said, "He who is brave is free." Freedom comes when men stop begging for attention and start leading their own lives. Epictetus taught, "Know first who you are, then adorn yourself accordingly." When men embody purpose and discipline, they no longer compete from below. They rise to a place where desire flows naturally. Modern dating is not fair, but it is honest. Women's standards expose the gap between men who adapt and those who cling to illusions. the game will not adjust for you. The question is, will you adjust for it?